In this video, we're going to start adding some content to our site now that we've got the nav bar and our carousel in here. So I'm going to go to my code and I'm going to just go after the header tag ends. I'm going to go ahead and create a new div for the page itself. So I'm going to create a new div. I'm going to give it a class of page. I'm going to go ahead and give it an ID of mission. Now within this mission, I'm going to go ahead and create a div with a content container. So I'm going to create a div, give it a class of content container. So it is a container, a fixed width container. Then inside there, I'm going to go ahead and paste some of my content. So first thing I'm going to do is create my H2 tag. And that's going to read our mission. After that, I'm going to create a paragraph tag. And inside there, I'm going to go ahead and paste some of my content. So you'll have content on your Blackboard site that has all of this in here. Southwest Vet, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go ahead and copy that out of my Word document and paste it in here. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Let's preview it. It's going to look kind of gnarly. There we go. There's some nice text. We're on our way here. So now that I've got that in, and we will style this up, I'm going to go ahead and just rough in some content. I want this to be capital M for our mission. That's proper noun. Great, there's our mission section. So I'm going to comment this out and go end of mission section just to keep myself organized. So at the end of this, I will go ahead and create a new div, and that one's going to be our services section, which is going to be a little bit longer. So this is going to be a div with a class of page, and I'm going to give it an ID of services. Inside there, I'm going to create another div. This is, you're going to start to see a little bit of a method to the madness. I'm kind of repeating the same thing over and over. So another div, it's going to have a class of content container. And inside that, I'm going to create my H2. And that will say services. So, and then inside here, I'm going to create a new row because I'm going to create a, different columns with different icons to them. So I'm going to create a div with a class of row. And inside here, I'm going to have 6 different icons and 6 different rows for my services. So I'm going to rough this out a little bit, and I'll bring in the images in just a little bit. So I'm going to create an article tag. And I'm going to give that for right now a class of large 2, excuse me, COLLG 2. So at a large size, these are all going to start lining up. Since I have 6, they're going to go 2 columns wide. I'm going to go ahead and copy in the rest of those after I get one roughed out, just so you can see that. So then I will jump over to my content real quick so I can look at it. So first thing is this exotic pets. So I'm going to grab exotic pets. I'm going to copy it. I need to style this up. So my headline, let me paste that content in. Now I need to put some tags around it. Put my H3 tag in. So that's going to wrap exotic pets. There we go. And then I'm going to put a paragraph tag around the rest of this. Save that. We'll refresh this. There we go. I see services. I see exotic pets. All right. So now that I've got that one, I'm going to go ahead and copy paste this a little bit, this structure. And then I'm going to place in, actually, I'm going to pause my video for a second, and I'm going to bring my icons into my images folder so I can link them in here. They will be available for you on the Blackboard site. All right, so now that I've got those icons copied in, I can see I've got icons for each of my sections. So the first one is going to be the exotic pet icon, which looks like, not like that. That did not preview. We'll pop it in here in a second. So above my headline for exotic pets, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my image. So I'll create an image tag. I'm going to link it. So image icon exotic pets. .svg. Great. I'm going to give that an alt tag of exotic pets icon, and I'm going to give it a class of icon. Oops, if I delete the right thing, there we go. Save that, double check that everything's working. There's my great big icon. That looks good. All right, so now that I've got this roughed in, I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate and just swap. There's gonna be a lot of cut, copy, paste in here. Might speed up the video a little bit because that's really all I'm doing now that I've got one roughed out. I'm gonna go ahead and rough everything else out. So I'm gonna copy from article tag to article tag, because I know I have 6 different articles I'm going to paste. So here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Save that, we'll refresh. So there we go. We can see that now that's at the large size, taking up 6. Now it's just going to be swapping it out for all of the content that I have. So swapping, next one is grooming. I'm going to change that icon to be grooming. General health. Nutrition. pest control. And the last one is going to be vaccinations. Save that. All right, let's check it out and see how it looks. All right, there we go. So, see that nice large size. There's our icons. They look really good. There's all our text. That looks good too. So that's coming together nicely. So now that I've got that roughed in, I'm going to go ahead and adjust some of this column width. So this is kind of a basic rough. You could leave it here and move on until you're ready to kind of size for mobile. But let's go ahead and add some of those column widths to this so that we can make the breakpoints look a little nicer. Because right now it's just going from 12 to 1. So you're basically seeing add 2 columns to taking up the full 12 columns, which doesn't really look all that good. Make sure that you're always keeping in mind what your site's going to look like at different breakpoints as you're working. So I'm going to go up to the first one. So at the large breakpoint, like I specifically have 6 because it breaks down really nicely on a 12 column grid. So then I can say at the medium size, I want you to take up 3 column widths. Small size, it's going to take up, it'll go 2 by 2, and then extra small, it'll go the full width. So when I do my column widths, I like to organize them from large to medium to small. So I'm going to start with my extra small one. So at the extra small breakpoint, I want that to take up the full 12 column width. At the small one, oops, I'm going to say 6. At the medium one, you're going to take up 4. Now that should work on just this one. It's going to pop weird. So because I've got that, let's go ahead and just copy that whole extra small, small, medium and paste it in on all of these. And save and refresh that. So there we go. Now I can see that they look like this here. And then they're going to snap, snap again, and snap again. So that looks a lot nicer at different breakpoints that they are adjusting. We're going to do some CSS to make sure that these icons are not getting so massively huge at this tiny size, but that's going to be for another video when we add in some of the styling, but that looks much better on our mobile breakpoints. So that's going to be the services section. All right, let's rough in a couple more sections and then we'll really do some styling to it. All right, so I'm going to comment out the end of, define the end of my page here. I should have commented it when I made it. I'm going to say end of services section. And then I can create a new section, and this one is going to be my staff section. So I'm going to create a new div. I'm going to give it a class of page. I'm going to give it an ID of staff. Go ahead and comment this out the first time, end of staff section. So I'm going to open that up, and now I can work inside of this. This is going to look a lot like the other areas, so I'm going to give it a div. I'm going to give it a class of content container. Inside that content container, I'm going to go ahead and create my H2 tag. I'm going to give it an ID of our staff. I'm going to type in our staff. And I'm going to go ahead and just paste in for right now. We're going to turn these into cards. But until we do that, I'm just going to paste this in. So I'm going to create a new div. I'm going to give it a class of row. And these will be cards. So let's go ahead and bring in all that content that we have for our staff. Here's all of my content. There we go, copy that. I'm gonna go ahead and paste that in. That's good for now. We're gonna go ahead and make those cards. I'm gonna just finish roughing in this content. We'll style that up in another video on working with cards. And then the last section, we're gonna do similar type of things. So end of our staff section, let's go ahead and put in our testimonials. I'm gonna save this real quick just so you can see what it looks like. Right now it's just gonna be a bunch of blurbity blurb text. There we go, blurbity blurb text, because we didn't put any styling to it yet. And let's do one last little bit with our testimonials. So I'm gonna create a new div. I'm gonna give it a class of page. And I'm going to give it an ID of testimonials. Go ahead and comment this out. So end of testimonials section. And in here, I'm going to create a new div. I'm going to give it a class of content. And then I'm going to say container fluid. I'm going to create my H2. And I'm going to just write in testimonials. And then in there, I'm going to grab my content that I have here for my testimonials. I'm going to copy all that. I'm going to paste it in. That's a lot of content. I'm going to save that. Let's refresh here, and then I can see there's all my testimonials. You can see the difference in the container fluid to a fixed width container. So there's all the content that's roughed out. In the next couple of videos, where I'm going to go ahead and style up. We're going to add more styling to this. We're going to add the card sort. I'm going to add a testimonial section with a little hover, and I'm also going to add a footer to this. We're going to style up some of the nav bar and really take this from looking pretty rough into an actual nice, beautiful site. But now that we've got these sections roughed in, we have places to start working. So thank you for watching this one, and I will see you on the next one.